Welcome to SculptKid. And again, thank you. I know you haven't even seen what I made yet. So
yeah, I don't know what I'm about to see. I'm excited though.
Yeah, this could be. That's what my wife was like, bro. Does he You could just literally have crafted a piece of turd, and he's just
troll me so hard right now.
Really I could be, but I appreciate that you trust me enough. Did you watch any of my stuff on my, or look through any of my Twitter or anything?
Zero. I am coming in completely blind. I don't know what's going on.
All right. Well, for the most part, I want this to be about you. But just real quick, just a quick thing about what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do is there's a lot of people on YouTube who I look up to and do really cool stuff. And you happen to be one of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I initially got into your channel through Nux. I think he mentioned you in a stream and then maybe rated you or something. And I came in and you're just cool. And then
that's what I go for. I'm just a chill bro, on stream.
That's what I think that's what your Twitter handle even says, right? Or your X handle.
Oh my God, X now it's called. Yeah, I'm just a dude that likes video games and anime, and I just chill out. I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm not too over the top.
Yeah, you live up to it, and the content you make is fun. And I think a lot of people underestimate how important fun is.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're having fun, your audience is having fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, bust or bust.
That was a banger. A banger.
It was so good. I don't know, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it was it's dumb, but in the best way, like Luffy.
It's so dumb. It is such a dumb concept. But even just analytically, it is so it's so perfect for the YouTube algorithm.
So perfect.
From the clickbait to the game show where it keeps people watching and waiting. What was the answer?
Yeah.
It worked way too well. And it's always a collab. You found me through Nux, and collabs are so important. For example, so every episode was a double collab with boobs in the thumbnail.
Yeah, for the algorithm, man, it was perfect. And that's the kind of important segue in terms of what I'm doing, because that's kind of the whole basis of my channel, is that I really want to collab and lift up people. So having you as the first YouTube personality that I'm doing this for feels special to me.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be the first.
Let's go. Yeah, hopefully not the last, because it's been 2 years. Do you remember when we met? Well, met.
I remember I was doing a game night with viewers, and I remember you came in for some of the games. I remember the username, so that's my recollection. I might be wrong.
Okay, so if you want to pull up the my screen, I have something to share with you, because it felt like an important moment.
Our first opponent enters the ring.
Beefcake, we got a fucking artist here.
Oh.
Versus I don't even know. Oh, Beefcake, we got an artist here.
So
champion of Beefy.
This was 2 years ago.
Beefcake wins. Oh my God! You know what? I have a pretty good memory. That's not bad. For 2 years ago, I remember that it was you doing a game. It was a games night, and that looks way too good.
Yeah, such a random happenstance.
It's way too good. Yeah.
I feel like that out of the grand scheme of the things that you do and all the work that you do, that was such a small moment.
Right. I don't even know, guy. It's better than mine. I need to start doing those again. I feel like viewers really appreciated just a little bit of extra interaction, right?
Yeah.
Getting to play games with me.
Oh, it was great. And I've done it before on my Twitch when I did. I haven't done it in a while, unfortunately, but it is such a great way to really engage with the audience. And you did a really good job of just providing an area where we could all just be goofy, and it was really fun.
Well, like I said, if I'm having fun, usually the viewers are having fun too, and that's kind of what I go for on Twitch.
That's perfect. All right, so I got one more from that night. Not about me. It was Jimbo Slice, but
every single time.
I just thought you would appreciate the memory.
It's gonna be bear with gun. It's gotta be Bear with Gun.
Is.
Did I call it? Bear with gun.
Bear with gun. Let's go.
And everyone says I have a goldfish brain. I remember the good moments.
Right?
Bear with gun too.
Yeah, and so there's another part. I'll spare you the replay on that one, but there's another point where I think I was up again, and you were like, "Bro, you got this in the bag." But then you said to the other guy, you said, hey, like even if you draw shitty pictures, just do good names. And Jimbo, at the end, I'd won, and I think you said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, clutch, easy victory. We weren't even close, but Jimbo Slice was actually only like, I think like 40 points to 100 points away.
Yeah, it's a little unfair considering how talented you are, and everyone else here is just like, I will draw a stick figure. But Bear with Gun was close, man. Bear with Gun matched.
I still laugh about it to this day. Like every time I watch that clip, your laugh and reaction is just so genuine. The drawing is just so like perfectly bad, and the name is just so left field. It's
so good.
It's good. Greatest anime twist of 2021, I think. So real quick, just another quick reaction for you. Again, if you didn't look through my Twitter, you didn't see this, but now just for you.
Oh my God!
Here's something which I can print it out. I can make a little toy of this. So if you want Bear with Gun, I'll print one for you and send it to you and Jimbo.
Top 5 characters Goku is scared to fight. Bear with Gun. That's hilarious.
I thought you would appreciate that. So okay, so let me. Oh, there we go. Now it's clipping out. There we go. There's the thing. If I click the wrong thing, shit goes crazy.
It's done, yeah.
All right, so then...
It looks like you need another monitor, my friend.
So I do have another monitor, but because of the reveal setup right here, I put it over here, and also because I have 2 cameras already, and it's
a lot.
I make art, dude. I don't make... I mean, I have to learn to make interviews, but I don't yet. So... I think I just kind of want to transition to just go early into showing you what I did.
Cool.
So that way you can have the rest of this interview with that in your mind rather than this whole time just being like, what is this guy about to show me? Because the Bear with Gun is great that I just showed you, but a little bit different in terms of what I'm doing. So first thing I made, not really sure how I want to like show this off to audience, or like if I want to even give the audience or people like a way to get this, if that makes sense. But I made a poster version.
Well, that's cool.
So that way if people wanted like a wallpaper on their phone or something. But here is the poster version. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Dude, that is so hype. That's crazy, man.
You love that?
It looks so cool.
So that's that's just the poster, and then all right, let's so here's the big reveal, the do moment. Let me see if I can get this thing. Sorry, that's my face. I know you don't want to see that, but
bro, there's no way. That looks way too good.
Thank you. I know it looks really shaky.
It needs to focus in a little bit, but. Oh my God, I was not expecting this. I had no idea what I was coming into. That is so cool, man.
Yeah, I'll show.
So freaking cool.
I'll show the audience like the photos that my wife took, so that way it's not this like shaky, crappy, not even centered into the middle of the frame thing. But then, so this is my collectible version, like the small one I made for myself, and then I made this one.
I wasn't expecting that.
This is the
dude. You may have single-handedly make me want to bring Buster Bust back.
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah.
That is way too cool. It might need a season 2.
And then, of course, we got our little players down here.
We got Nuxie Boy versus Connor.
Yeah, those were just the 2 that I knew the best, and nice. I was just like, all right, I gotta put them on there because as Nux being the one that brought me into your channel.
All right, I needed like an image of this, so let's see if we can guess the bobs in the background and actually know who they are. Because off of the camera, I don't know if I know. But
here, let's see if I can do this. Hold on, I might be able to just pull off the back real quick and. Ooh. I picked some like pretty standard ones, so I think you should be able to get most of them. So
obviously Boa, yes. Yeah. Aphrodite or something like that from Records of Ragnarok.
That's right.
Nice. I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
But it's a nice pair of bobs, I will say.
There we go.
That is Armstrong from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
That's the one. And then let's go to the side.
That looks. Is that also from FMA?
I don't think so. And I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the chick from Lupin the Third.
Oh, I've never seen that anime. Interesting.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
It's kind of a meme at this point.
Oh, is that like the physics, Booba physics from...
Yeah.
Wait, that's from High School of the Dead.
That's the one.
Obviously, we got Whitebeard from One Piece.
Yeah.
Fucking... I can't remember her name. From Konosuba. Wait, you can't tell me. I'm trying to remember, I think... Darkness, I guess, but...
Darkness?
La
Oh,
Latina.
yeah, I think that is
La
the name,
Latina. Something like La Latina? I can't remember her real name.
Yeah, the funny thing is, as much as I love the show, I think I would probably be one of the worst people to get on that show and play.
Man, I might need to bring it back.
Yeah, if you do, I'll be one of the first to watch. But also, researching your channel, you do way more than Buster Bus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's been my YouTube channel, which is kind of dead right now, has been a journey of up and downs and just a variety of different anime related content for sure. Mm-hmm. I think I just keep on throwing things at the wall and sometimes something sticks.
Well, I think Buster Bus stuck for me, at least.
Oh yeah. It was probably one of my more successful series. Anime brackets did really well at one point. Just like everything and anything, whether it's actually like who's fighting who or like who has the saddest backstory. It's like facing characters off against each other was very cool.
Yeah, I'll have to go. There's like, it's kind of cool because in one way of doing this, I was really focused on Buster Bus, but just like in the past 3 days, I found, I think like a couple of your series that I'm like, all right, now I got to just stream this while I'm working on the next one. Like, for instance, the One Piece D&D.
Oh, One Piece D&D is great, man.
Yeah,
so
can
much
you
fun.
Tell us like a little bit? I want to know about Ragnar, but like maybe skip the spoilers so that way I'm not, so I can stream it.
The funny thing about One Piece D&D is that was my first ever D&D campaign. I had never played D&D before. The thought of role playing a character that wasn't me in front of an audience for 2 hours sounded so cringe at the time. I was very worried. And when Rustage asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to play D&D with me?" I thought it was going to be for like a month. I didn't realize these campaigns, like I know I was going in like completely like in the dark. I had no idea how long campaigns would last and how long like you could play D&D for. So I was going in, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like a month or two every other week. That's cool. I'm excited for that. I didn't realize like, this is a 3-year campaign.
Was it 3 years?
It was 3 years of One Piece D&D.
Jeez.
And I've done a couple more campaigns since then, but Ragnar to this day is still my favorite character. He is just so fun to play.
Yeah, when I saw him, I think I only saw him this morning, honestly. And really? I was just like, I was like, wait, what the hell is this? Because me and my buddies played One Piece D&D, and I even made the the custom character cards using my graphic design skills. So I was like, oh shit, this is right up my alley. But the artwork for all of those characters, and even for the new Marine D&D one you got, is like incredible. So I was like, I'm hooked already. Do you know who did the art for those?
Keiru.
Nice.
Keiru
Yeah.
He does the art for everything Rustage related for the most part. He does an amazing job.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll ask you for a link to his stuff so I can boost him. I've got like my character and SculptKid has like a empty shirt that I can put art in, and then I do like the art shout out, so I'll put him in there.
But yeah, Ragnar was always very, very fun to play, and I think the reason why he was is because he's the easiest for me. He is the most similar to me of all my characters. Like he's just me but personified. Like all my vices, all my good qualities. It's just like I took all the things that like are me, and it's like if like I have one bad quality that's like a 5 out of 10, I make it a 10 out of 10 for Ragnar. If I have one thing that's good about me, I make it a 10 out of 10 for Ragnar. Like I just made everything very extreme, but because it's based off things I like, it's like thinking of a joke for Ragnar or thinking of something Ragnar would say always just like came off the tongue nicely. Versus a character like Norman or Bradley, for my other series, it's like those are so different from me that it's like I have to think, what would Norman say? What would like a nerdy dude say in this situation? What would a fucking fishman say in this situation? Like he's not even like, I guess he is like a humanoid character, but he's not really human. Like he lived underwater his entire life. So like, what the fuck would he say in this situation? Like I have to think about it, and because it's not as like fluent, it's a little bit less fun, I'd say.
Yeah, but it's also a great way to kind of like I don't want to say warp your perspective, right? But to like really force yourself to think from a different level of backstory, because fishermen obviously have a way different backstory than human Briggs or human SculptKid. So it's a very interesting way to role play. So I'm excited to see how you kind of navigate some of those situations.
But yeah, I will say when you do get into those characters, or like when I finally get like think of what I want to say and what I want to do with the character, it's like it's so cool to me because it's just so different than anything I would ever do. So you have to really get into the role play, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it becomes less of like improv and more of like writing almost. Yeah, which is great.
A little bit.
Yeah, and I'm assuming with listening to some of your reviews on anime and how the characters are affected and the storylines progress and stuff, I'm interested to see how you try to work your way through stories in that sense. I think it's going to be very fun for me and for any of my listeners who are into D&D and One Piece. Like,
well, if you ever finish One Piece D&D, which is it took us 3 years to film all that content. I would love to hear your opinion on Ragnar, because people either love him or hate him at this point, because he's had a journey and has developed in a lot of ways.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to let you know. I think, I guess my question then, if it's a 3-year journey, is there a one-pace D&D version?
It's called watching it on 2 times speed. Or 1.5 times speed. I mean, I tried to upload like a couple episodes, like One Piece D&D in 30 minutes and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do it for the whole series.
Yeah,
I thought it would be a fun way to just get my viewers into episode 1, and then maybe they would go and check out the whole thing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to get into it and to start it. So in terms of the rest of your stuff, like, can you just give, I think, honestly, like the people who watch this video mostly either be your people coming to see more of you, or hopefully in the future, more people wanting to see cool creators. So people coming to watch it now to be like, what was the first episode with a YouTuber? What do you want them to go watch that you've done that you think is like, if you want essential Briggs, this is the thing to watch? So
while I think there is a lot of cool content on my YouTube channel, I think people that are stuck just on YouTube miss out on a lot of content, because I am actually more of a streamer, I would say, because I stream. So for example, every other Monday, I do an Anime Virgin podcast on Twitch where we just talk about a new anime. And a lot of the times it's like, oh, this anime is cool, I want to talk about it, but I don't really have content to make about it. So me and my buddy Gozen hop on a call for an hour, and we talk about the new Zom 100 for 45 minutes. And it's fun. And it's something that's really just on Twitch and Spotify. Like, I don't have that on my YouTube channel. I am constantly gaming on Twitch, but also like One Piece D&D, Isekai D&D, is just live, and being there in chat when like it's happening live is a very cool experience.
Yeah.
Same with Rank FA, which is another podcast I do. I think just being stuck on just YouTube, you miss out on a lot of cool stuff. So
yeah, agreed.
I'd say come over to the Twitch side, give it a chance.
Yeah, and to be fair, where I met you, and this whole thing started was Twitch.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, I'll make sure to find and link those appropriate. Well, I think it's just you, right? BriggsADA.
Yeah, if you could just BriggsADA on Twitch for the most part, and there is the Rank FA channel on Twitch as well.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, for the most part, I wouldn't be able to do what I do and like make a living with content creation if it wasn't for Twitch, and it wasn't for people being generous over on Twitch, because YouTube and Spotify pay okay, but like it wouldn't be enough to pay the bills. Twitch and people being generous on Twitch tends to be my main form of income.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely push people over there. And I want to find a way for myself to be able to move into that area as well, because it feels like such an easier way to develop a community, which I think you do really naturally and really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
I feel like you need to do YouTube and like TikTok and shit like that, because actually, can I swear on this channel? I guess shit's not really swearing. Anyway.
I'll bleep it out if I need to.
you need to do stuff like YouTube because there's so many people on YouTube. The algorithm's great, and you can make good content that people would enjoy. But being able to bring those people to Twitch and build like a bond with them goes so much greater because it's live, and they could ask me how my day's going. We could talk about something cool. They could ask my favorite anime, and I could reply in live time, which is something you can't do with a YouTube video. So pros and cons.
True. Yeah, and TikTok apparently has a great space for creatives right now. I saw a couple of like how it started versus how it's going, and it's like, got like that ooh wee music playing in the background or whatever it is. And
yeah, you could do that with YouTube Shorts as well. Like YouTube Shorts is crazy, and you can make a little bit of money. There's not like a lot of money in it, but the exposure between TikTok and YouTube Shorts is kind of unmatched. I don't think anything can compete with the exposure of TikTok and YouTube Shorts currently.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm definitely doing a bust or bust how it started versus how it's going reaction for TikTok. Sweet. So then I guess I had a question about bust or bust and the future episodes, which we already talked maybe a little season 2 coming around, but how did it come about? Like where was the ideation of that?
Honestly, this is kind of sad, but it was literally just like, what can I do live on Twitch that could turn into a YouTube video where boobs are in the thumbnail? It's so sad. I'm like, I want boobs in the thumbnail, but I want it to not be clickbait. I'm like, how do I do that? I'm like, let's do a game show guessing characters based on their boobs.
Yeah, and I mean, I think in terms of the cringe statement, I was also kind of like, if I'm doing SculptKid for all these like, I want to do people like Mark Rober who teach people on YouTube and show them. And then like the first guy I'm doing is this guy who's, guessing titties or whatever, or babs.
Yeah.
Like, is that going to come off strange? But then, it's like I said, it's fun. And I think you as a community leader, in a sense, also, like I said, I wasn't going to do any hard hitting questions, and I promise I'm not doing one now, but I'd want to bring up the fact that you talked about the black cosplayers and who were receiving a lot of hate and racism, and that
so stupid, man.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's so easy to just let it go under the radar, right? Yeah. And you dedicated a whole episode just to calling it out and to basically put people in their place and to let that person know that they have space here and that they should take up that space, because that space is for all of us. We're, our culture isn't dictated by our skin color. Our culture is dictated by our enjoyment as a community in anime.
Yeah. I hate gatekeeping, and then gatekeeping based off race is just disgusting. It's like, it's cosplaying. They're having fun. They're dressing up as a character they're doing a little photo shoot for their viewers and people to appreciate. And it's like, there's no reason to be racist and be like, you can't cosplay as this character because of the color of your skin. Like, actually, f*** off. Sorry.
Yeah, actually.
It gets me upset.
Yeah, and especially considering her, like, you don't have to have good cosplay to be accepted in the cosplay, but her cosplay was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
But even if it was trash, it's like,
exactly,
let people do what they want to do, And you could say it's a bad cosplay. You could say whatever the hell you want. It's online. I just feel bad for these creators as well, where it's like, I have like a tough skin where like I have gotten so much crazy shit sent to me, but I'm used to it now. Mm-hmm. I could only imagine someone like her who like, that was her like first like kind of push of like clout, for lack of a better terms, where it's like, imagine having like a couple viewers and a couple replies, and out of nowhere you're getting thousands, and then a lot of them are like hateful. Yeah. I could like, dude, she privated her Twitter and stuff like that, and I just felt so bad. I'm like, I would probably lose my mind too. I feel like generally growing slowly, you slowly build up a tolerance for it, and you realize half the people on the internet are idiots, and like their opinions don't matter.
Yeah, and not worth it.
It's not worth
to
it.
Engage with.
Unless I'm trolling, like half the time I reply to people that are stupid is just a troll. For the most part, I just ignore them. Oh, the best thing ever is like when they like someone like comments with like 4 paragraphs, and I'll just reply, not reading all that, not reading all that, or like just delete it without reading it. I'm like, something about that. Maybe it's a sad power trip, but something about someone writing 5 paragraphs of a message and just not reading it and deleting it on them makes me laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah, it's perfect. Especially.
I read the first sentence and realize it's a little bit hateful. I'm like, bye.
Yeah, especially when it's just trying to redefine their position as something more than what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, bro, you're coming from ignorance. I'm done.
Exactly.
Delete. Sorry about it. Yeah, and then
But at the end
also
of the day, people can say whatever the hell they want, honestly, especially on my channels and comments. Like, I really don't care.
yeah. So on top of that, also as an artist, I watched your reaction to, I think it was Giguk
Giguk, yes.
and Sea Dog talking about AI art in anime, and your take was pretty nuanced and didn't detract from, you know, some of the things that a lot of artists are concerned about. So I was really impressed that you are informed, because a lot of people aren't.
Yeah. It's a sad reality. I think seeing people on Twitter complain about AI art, and I completely get it because a lot of it is plagiarized, and there's a lot of negatives with AI art, but the sad reality really is, it's like, for the most part, computers are going to take a lot of jobs, right?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Maybe me as a Twitch streamer, like, I'm going to get my emotes from a friend of mine that I want to support. But if you go to, like, Joe down the street who wants to, like, make a quick little art thing super quick for a party, it's like he could pay $5 and get 100 images made. It's hard to compete with that.
Yeah.
And he's not thinking of, like, the morality of it. So the sad reality is, unless you're an insane artist and really, really good at what you do and have a fan base, or like you grow like a kind of a fan base for your stuff, a lot of jobs, like 5-year jobs, for example, are just going to be taken.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're gone with the wind. And but I also think at the same time, like, a lot of those jobs, like, even though I want the money, I definitely don't want to deal with the person who's going to hire me to do it, because the person who pays me $100 for a drawing versus the person who pays me $1,000 from a drawing is going to be, you know, they're putting their, like, basically month savings into me. So they're expecting the best, which, you know, I don't blame them for, but at the same time, like, that's like, dude, like, you're asking for a $10,000 picture for $100. I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
So it's a weird, it's a very weird space to be in right now, but I do appreciate from you, especially, again, as like a community leader, to even just mention, you know, that aspect of it. It's important for people to have a voice.
I kind of have a middle stance, right? I really do have a middle stance, because a lot of people are very against AI art. And I'm like, yeah, I'm against it to a certain extent, but we also got to realize most industries end up being taken over by, like, machines and technology. And it's just the reality.
Yep. Yeah. And I told, I had an interview recently for an indie company doing, like, their art for a video game job. And they're like, how do you feel about AI art? And I was like, well, if we had universal basic income and I didn't have to worry about paying my bills, I wouldn't give a shit about it, brother. But but right now I need to pay my bills. So, you know, it kind of sucks a little bit, but it's also cool
so,
as fuck.
It's very cool, but now it's just like you have a little bit extra competition as an artist, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It doesn't mean that you can't succeed. Artists will still succeed and thrive. It's just now there's some competition. And maybe some smaller artists could get screwed over, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
If they're not super talented. But judging by the sculpture you just showed me, and even just my little bit of seeing what you drew in 20 seconds during, like, a little online game with friends, like, you're very, very talented. So I'm sure you'll succeed.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and I'm trying to build a whole, like, personality, I guess, around it too.
But you're smart. You're smart about that. Like, sometimes, like, the art speaks for itself, for sure. But when the competition is as high as it is, people knowing you makes a difference. I went with friends that I think their art is good, but I went with them because, like, they're an online personality. I've talked to them before. I know of them. When I think, oh, I need to message an artist, they come to my mind, right? So they get my sale, even though technically there's probably artists out there that are better, maybe cheaper and whatever. But because they're in my head, I go with them because I'm a busy man. It's like, oh, I mean, let me DM Kru right now. Let me DM X, Y, and Z right now to get this done quickly. Like, I'll literally do it while I'm streaming. Let me just DM them, boom, send over the money once it's done or whatever. And it's just like, he's in my head and he's marketed himself well, so he gets the sale.
Yeah, Dunzo. Here I am trying that right now. We'll see how it goes. See where it goes from here.
I believe.
So I guess to follow up with those two last things, another question is in terms of the with, like, all the toxicity that's online right now. It doesn't seem like you take up any space in terms of like the controversial reactionary opinions, right? Like, you're very much in the anime world, which is great.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll do any more, reactions or things like that in that space as it seems necessary, or is that just something?
I think for the most part, I try to not get involved unless I'm passionate about it or something really upsets me or it affects someone that's close to me or a friend of mine. Then maybe I'd get involved. For the most part, while I do get involved in some toxic things for views, it's usually about fictional characters, so it's not that serious. When it is something that's serious or political, I'm here to have fun and be entertaining. That's
Right.
not what I'm trying to do with my content for the most part. But because my content involves around anime, when I see a cosplayer or I see something about AI art, it does kind of overlap with what I do a little bit, so it works.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think that's kind of an issue, a big issue with how our like online community is going, is that people really just say like, I'm going to have an opinion about everything and I'm going to post every single opinion I have, even if it's not nuanced. So I think hearing your opinions and knowing that they came from respect, admiration, and concern really led well to sharing it and to having a voice that felt authentic.
Exactly. I think you're going to see more and more and more of what you just described because now you could get paid on Twitter. And I love that more people could get their bag through different streaming, like different like apps and applications. I think it's great that another service is like, oh, you're a content creator, now you can make an extra couple $100 on Twitter as well. So I think that's cool. But the same thing is Twitter is already a toxic place. So now imagine that you can make money.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have an opinion about everything. And the amount of baiting and trolling and kind of drama that's going to be cultivated to make money is once you add money to a thing, it's going to 10x everything.
Yeah.
If Twitter's already toxic, imagine you can make money off being toxic. It's scary and you can already see it. And if you look at my Twitter now compared to a month ago, the big difference is I am shitposting a lot more because now you can make money.
Yeah, I was scrolling through a lot of memes to be like, let me get to the heart of who Briggs is, because right now it's a lot of memes.
I'm just shitposting because quantity, trying to get those impressions in and farm some impressions. And I do it in a decent way, like that. Don't get me wrong. Do I bait a little bit? Yes. But I have fun with it, and it's about fictional characters. Like, for example, Buster Bust. Like, Buster Bust is, at the end of the day, it's about fictional characters.
Right.
And I include men and women, and I try to be, like, inclusive with it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of baiting with the thumbnail and stuff like that. But with Twitter, like, throwing your hot takes about anime, no one's really going to get hurt. But what ends up happening is the other communities that are more mainstream, I feel like I'm scared for what Twitter is going to become in a couple months.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think that's part of the once you get the bait, I think there's a lot of people out there who bait in a way that they seem nice and what's the word for it? Like they seem chill with their bait. So you get in and their normie shit, and then all of a sudden you get into their deeper stuff and it's very toxic and highly like controversial and just weird. And I love the idea of creators out there baiting with something that seems toxic like Buster Bust. And then you get into the heart of your content and it's very wholesome and it's very, it's like lighthearted and fun and you stand up for people.
It's almost the reverse, right? Like I bait with like shitting on Mushoku Tensei, which actually I love the anime, but like I'll say something negative about Mushoku Tensei, so they're like, oh, your first introduction to me might be something a little bit toxic and negative, but then you come to my stream and I'm a chill dude. So it's almost the opposite. I use a little bit of bait with about fictional characters that's fucking like it's not hurting anybody. Sorry to swear again. I use that bait to maybe introduce you to me, but then you come in and you see wholesome stuff. You see a chill dude just here playing video games and down to have a good time.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
So I guess that kind of wraps up everything in terms of the questions I had. And the only really last thing is to ask you one more time to just say what you want to say about where do you want my audience to go? What do you want them to see? And how can my people find your people?
I mean, I'm sure you could just link my YouTube channel and Twitch channel and they could figure it out. But for the most part, I want to try to promote like this video and this episode for you. So we'll post it on Twitter and I'll do like a YouTube community post to get like my people to see it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So I'm excited. I think this is a very fun series. And thank you so much for making that sculpture. It looks absolutely amazing. And I'm actually curious, how long did it take you?
So 2 years.
That is crazy.
But not 2 years because I have a 2-year-old daughter. And
you're on and off, obviously.
Yeah, so I would say like in terms of like hours, maybe around 200 to 300.
How scared were you? 200 to 300 hours. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I got. Let me show you a little bit of the behind the scenes. When I post the video, I'll have a lot of processes, but here's a couple more reactions from you, if you don't mind. But here's one of the. This is where it started. Let's see, we don't want to save that. So that's what it started out as.
That's cool. Like I have no concept of how this is done at all.
Check out them cheeks, bro.
Damn, he's thick.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a reference, and I would be like, "Hey, Briggs, let me get a picture of your butt so I can make an accurate thing." So
I would have sent it, brother. I would have sent it.
When in doubt, thick it out. That's what I say.
There we go.
So then one of the other things. So let me see if I can find where the end one is. Yeah, I can do for the poster. So this is where it ended up in terms of in Blender. I also worked in ZBrush. To get it's going to take a minute to load because there's a ass load of pieces into this. So this is where it ended up finally. Oh, you can see the sketches here where I was trying to make the Lelouch. You know where that's from, right?
Pardon?
So your picture of Lelouch with your face like looking kind of smug.
Yeah, I use that everywhere. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, easy. Let me make his own custom Lelouch outfit. And
I think Nux actually was the one who edited my face onto that.
Oh, really?
I think so. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Well, that lives in my head rent free.
There we go.
So this is the back piece. This is the thing that actually probably took me the longest.
Really?
Yeah, I was figuring out how to do these back pieces. So what I was initially going to do was this like, let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. I've got a bunch of, look at that big ass head. I was going to do things like flat like this, but then put like some sculpted tatas on the side. And
that's
here's
boa. That looks like boa to me.
That is boa. So I just tried sculpting them right off the bat. And
Nice.
The babs look great, but the face is just.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bobs are good, but the face.
A little jank.
It's hard to sculpt her perfection.
Yeah, it really is. And this is before I got ZBrush, and I was just trying to sculpt into on Blender, which is just not really made for. So I tried doing it the other way, where I just made the character and then I would like flatten her out. So I had this going, which
looks better.
Yeah, it was only about probably about like 2 or 3 hours in when I was like, all right, fuck this, and then
the T-pose.
Got the balloons.
Send me that.
I'll send that for sure. She's establishing dominance as Boa does.
That's a funny meme. That would be a good post.
So yeah, after kind of floundering with that for a while, I eventually just went with the. I think I did like a snake at one point, which I can send you a picture of that later. I don't know where I have that saved. I didn't pull it up, but I ended up going with these things that just looked cool.
This is the coolest thing ever, man. This looks so cool.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this and learning, and most of the hours were spent just like basically learning and preparing myself to. Ooh.
So now when you do someone else next, it'll probably be a lot more like streamlined.
Hopefully, I do have an orc that I'm making for my father. He's a big World of Warcraft player.
Nice.
So I just ripped his character's model out of the game, and now I'm sculpting it and I'm going to paint it. So that should be pretty cool. But that brings me to another question that I forgot to ask. Who do you think I should do next? You got any references?
I'm honestly not sure. I would do someone that you look up to and someone that you enjoy their content. At the end of the day, it'll make the interview all the more genuine and great, right?
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. And that's, there's tons of people out there who I'm excited to reach out to and to do the work for. But like, I think with your character, it was just like, I saw one video and it was already in my head.
Yeah.
Like it was just so like everything you had was set up perfectly. And I think there's people like Nux who's already a character.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, well, like that's kind of another easy hit, but I want to do it where it's like somebody who's not like you don't have a specific character that I've seen.
I don't have a figure or a character. I have a couple meme sketches, right? And that's it.
Right. Yeah. So it gave me a little bit of creative freedom, you know, to explore and to try. But at the same time, like I said, your presence, your character, like it almost drew itself. All I had to do was make it look like what was there.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Sweet. So I think that's the end of the interview.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for doing this. This was great.
Yeah, thanks again. Thank you for coming. Like I said, you had no idea what the hell was going on, and you trusted.
That turned out really well, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad that I could exceed what expectations you didn't have.
I was about to say I came in blind. I had no idea what I was coming into.
Perfect.
It's kind of how I live my life, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I think during the interview at one point you even mentioned that you went into the D&D thing, just like, well, I don't know what the fuck's about to happen, but let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is a great way to live, and I think a lot of people miss out on a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff, while is planned, like analytic wise, for the most part, I take things a day at a time. Like I have no clue what I'm doing tomorrow. I have no clue what I'm doing Monday. And it's just like, yeah, when it comes, it comes. We'll do something fun on stream. We'll make some fun content though. I'll talk about whatever floats my boat that day.
Respect. That's the way to do it. I'm gonna start. That's my Briggs way. I'm gonna say.
I'll let tomorrow's me handle tomorrow's problems. That's
right?
the one punch. That's like the Saitama way.
Nice.
Were you scared when I shaved my head? You're like, I remember you came to my chat. You're like, bro, I've been working on this thing for a year. Now you shaved your head.
Yes and no. Like removing the hair is fine. It's one thing. You know, like that actually wouldn't take long. But then when you were cosplaying Andrew Tate, I was like, oh no. Like,
you're like, shit.
God, like I've been working on this for 2 years, and if this guy's gonna go down that route, like that's gonna be unfortunate.
No, it was just a fun meme.
Yeah, and that's like when I came in there, I think you were doing it for the first time, so it was just like, oh, what's happening? And and then I was there for like 10 minutes, and it was like, okay, he's just being funny. Like this is fine. But then I was shit, I have to.
I shaved my head and I had a cigar. I do enjoy cigars as well.
Me too.
So it's just like I shave my head. I have a cigar right here. I'm like, this is too good not to troll around with.
Yeah, it was funny. I enjoyed it, and again, it's one of those things where I initially was like, oh fuck, like is this bad? And then it wasn't. It was funny, which is again kind of apparently your MO now, which is great. But yeah, I wasn't too concerned. If you were going to keep the shaved head, that would have probably been the easiest change.
Oh, nice.
Out of anything that you could have done.
Nice. Anyway, my friend, again for having me, and it turned out great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll just hit me up on Twitter, Discord, wherever you want to send the message. Tell me where to send it. I'll pack it up. I'll send it. If you want to do an unboxing,
I will absolutely.
Put the thing together, then that would be, I would lose my mind. I'd fangirl at that point.
I will absolutely do that.
All right, bro. All right, thanks again, Briggs.
All right, awesome. Take care, dude.
You too, bud.